Welcome to the Inspiration, Influence, and Income channel. I'm your host, Anya Winningham. And this morning, we're going to be talking to Cherie Walton. And she actually does something amazing because Cherie has a conference. Is it Cherie or Sherry? Let me get it right.
Sherry. I was going to say, Coach, as soon as you were done, I was going to say Sherry.
Girl, let me get it right. Sherry has a conference where she invites, and it's actually going to be in Atlanta. So if you guys could do me a big favor and hashtag Atlanta, it's actually going to be in Atlanta this weekend. If you're in my UCU or my UC work study, I'm actually looking for 2 ambassadors to attend the conference this weekend. I'm going to sponsor 2 women to go to that conference this weekend. So make sure you hashtag Atlanta if you're interested. But Sherry, tell us more about what you're doing and why it's important as it relates to women supporting women in not just business, but in life and business.
Yes. Well, first of all, Coach, because you are my coach, thank you so much for opening up this platform. I'm so excited about what you're doing. I'm so excited that after almost 3 years, we've reconnected, right? so thank you. And I'm always seeing all the great things that's happening with you and for you. So thank you again. Like you mentioned, I am in Atlanta this weekend. I'm traveling from Houston, going to Atlanta for the Mommy and Me Dream Bigger Tour. And this is an annual event that we have been doing since 2016. And we are shaking up moms. We're telling them that, you know what, it does not matter what you've done. It doesn't matter how many children you've had. It doesn't matter how many mistakes that you've made. You can live your best life right now. And there is no excuses for you not to live the life of your dreams. So we're locking arms with women. With it, our whole motivation is to help these moms find out, one, rediscover their purpose. That thing that's been deep on the inside of them that they probably haven't pulled out since either they got married or they came out of college. They had all these dreams and ambitions, but somehow they just got stuck. So we're joining forces with them. We are supporting women. This is all that is what I do. I support women, find out how we can help. I create platforms for the moms. Again, a lot of these women have thought about doing things, but they just didn't know where to get started. So we give them this starting point. So Mommy and Me, it's a 2-day conference. This is our first 2-day event, and we will be doing networking as well as giving them the tools and the resources to live their life. So we're not just giving you hype. We're not just motivating you rah, 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 and then you leave the same way you came. We're actually giving them the resources. So this year, our theme is the year of you. So we're celebrating moms like this is your year. Take off that superwoman cape. Stop trying to save everybody else. Put your own oxygen mask on first, like they tell us when we're on the plane, right? Save yourself first so that you can help other people and you can help your family and create that legacy. So one of the things we'll be talking about is the polite way to say no. Kick overwhelmed, overworked, and over it in the butt. So we're excited about what this weekend is going to entail.
One thing I love about what you're doing, Sherry, is and I'm going to be doing some upcoming retreats and some upcoming boot camps because what I'm finding, and good morning, everyone. If you haven't shared the broadcast, make sure that you do. One thing that I'm finding is that we learn better in close quarters. We learn better when we can step away from our day-to-day. And if I understand correctly, you're going to have entertainment there for the children as well.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. So the children have their own segment because, a lot of times we just get so busy taking care of our kids, right? So we're going to give you a place for your kids to come. So you have no excuse. You can't say you couldn't find a babysitter. You didn't know what you're going to do with the kids. Coach, I always have my kids in tow, right? So we're going to have a separate area for the kids. So they'll be doing vision boards. They will be learning about financial literacy from a kid's perspective, as well as how to start their first business. So we're going to be entertaining them and giving some videos and excitement and little dance movements, but we're also going to be making sure you're going to be in a better situation than your mama was, right? You're going to know at 6 years old, 10 years old, up to 13 years old, how to take care of your money.
Absolutely. And that's a project that I'm actually working on personally. For those of you who don't know, last summer, because my clients asked me, I actually did a virtual kids, we call it Kids Summer Cash, boot camp, and we had kids in there from 4 and 5 years old up to 17 and 18 years old. So we're actually packaging that now as a workbook for kids. We're going to be donating copies to the Boys and Girls Club and Steve Harvey's summer camp. But we're doing it because these children learn differently than we learn. And so we want to give them the tools. We want to give them the resources to, if you don't have the money to buy you some new shoes, here's how you set up a lemonade stand. Here's how you set up a car wash from start to finish. And so, again, I think it's amazing what Sherry is doing. And she brought up a good point. When I met her, she had her kids with her. And she was so like, I can't come because of the kids. I'm like, bring the kids. She's like, they're making noise. I'm like, they're fine. They eating too much. I'm like, food is food. You know, I am a mommy advocate because I know there were a lot of places that I couldn't go because I had my kids. And so I know that with me, to me, and this is just me, kids been making noise in church since Jesus came. And so for you to say, I'm going to have a conference for women and not expect that it be some kids in tow, to me, that's why your participation is low. So I appreciate that. Not only did she say, out of that experience, let me birth something where not only can the children come, but they can also be entertained. What's the link for them to purchase tickets?
www.bit.ly/mommy. I'm sorry, that one just slipped me, but I'm going to give you Dream Bigger Tour. www.dream, bigger, BIGGER tour.com. So www.dreambiggertour.com. And you'll go ahead and click the Atlanta date, and it'll take you right to our site for the ticket purchase. It's through Eventbrite.
Very good. And this is a woman that's helping women win in life and business. And we're actually going to be launching a book on International Women's Day featuring all of the women who are helping women win in life and business. So if you're interested more about how to collaborate with us on this massive project, we're going to do multiple live events all over the country. We're doing 100,000 seconds of live streaming, and our goal is to have over 100,000 women who are intent on generating over $100,000 in 2018. And so we got some big shoes to fill, but I feel like if I could get 20,000 views by myself with a little help from some friends, we can definitely get to 100,000 views. So join us tonight at bit.ly/collab with DW, COLLAB with DW, because there are going to be events happening all over the country, including events close to you. But guys, like I said, if you haven't shared the broadcast, share the broadcast. If you're in Atlanta, go to www.dreambiggertour.com. And guys, listen, this is the year to leave the house. This is the year that you get your cute shoes on or not. And this is the year that you leave the mess behind. You leave the confusion behind. You leave the struggle behind. And you go sit somewhere in a quiet room and you reimagine your life. This is that year. So if you're in Atlanta, you have an opportunity to do that this weekend. It is critical that we not keep running wounded. And me and one of my business girlfriends used to classify running wounded as we go from emergency to emergency. We go from hotbed to hotbed, from drama to drama, from stress to stress. And we never stop and repair the wounds. We never stop and adjust our vision. And I can tell you what happens when you're at war. And a lot of us are. We're at a war for our families. We're at a war for our finances. We're at a war for our time and our energy. What happens when you are at war, you start out and you feel like you're going straight. But every time you get hit, you get knocked off course. So if you never stop to adjust yourself, and say, look, I know I thought I was going this way, but I ended up going to the west or ended up going to the east. If you don't stop and readjust yourself, you're going to keep moving forward, but you may miss your target. You may miss your target.
That's good.
So we got to stop running wounded. We've got to go to www.dreambiggertour.com. I challenge you to bring a friend. That's another thing we don't do as women. We find something great and we want to hoard it. So we've all seen the show Hoarders. We know that's not a good thing. We know hoarding is not a good thing. And so I encourage you guys to not only get out there, but to bring a friend. I'm going to actually share. She's got an amazing video that goes with the conference. I'm going to share that also early this morning. But guys, when you see the video on my timeline, if you could do me a favor and share it. Because what that does is that makes you a woman that's helping women in business and life. Because we said this year, we're going to have it all. Right? And the only way you get that is you have to let go of what you're doing right now. What else do you want to tell them, Sherry, about the conference this weekend?
Well, one thing about the conference and that the tickets, the children are actually free. You do not have to pay for the children to attend. You just have to pay for the adults. So, and it's for women. You don't have to be a mom. These principles and resources will work just because you're a woman. Okay, so I have to say that because I get some single women or women that don't have kids. They're like, okay, we love what you're saying. Something that you said, and it just really just pricked me like, ooh, when you talked about running wounded. I ran wounded for a long time because you're just surviving. Every single day, you can only look at what's in front of you. But the key to win is to be able to look ahead. The key to win is to be able to strategize. The key to win is to be able to map out a plan past your today, actually past your year. You know, so, and that was so critical for me to get that quiet time. In the middle of a war, I had to sit and be quiet. I had to sit and sit still, and I had to hear God really talk to me because there was something specific for me. And it wasn't based on what anybody else was doing. It wasn't based on what anybody else was saying because I tried everything they were doing, but it wasn't working for me because there was something specific for me. But because I was moving so much, trying to just, hustle it and bustle, that's not the way to live. You know, being busy doesn't mean you're being productive. So we're talking to moms and we're saying, learn how to say no. I have a picture where we're going to be talking about this weekend with a plate full of food. Like every time you talk to someone, I don't have time for this and I don't have time for that. Why not? Why clear some of that clutter? Clear some of that extra food off your plate that's not productive, that's not producing.
And some of that food is not even your food. And that's another thing we have to stop doing as women. We have to stop putting stuff on our plate that doesn't even belong to us. Trust and believe, as busy as I am, if Sherry wasn't a client, she wouldn't be on here today. Because I got other stuff to do. So you got to be able to pick and choose. Who are you going to work with? Who are you going to support? Because you can't support everybody or you're going to end up with no support yourself.
Yeah, very true. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I'm excited. As you can see, I'm ready to go. I'm fired up.
She is fired up.
And we're ready to change some lives. Like, let's stop talking about it and be about it. I live in Houston now, but I'm Miami, so that Miami come out just a little bit sometimes. Like, let's be about it.
Right.
I'm saying what you're going to do. Do it. You're not a tree. Move. Do it.
I agree.
Stop selling yourself dreams because you're not fooling anybody else. You're not fooling your bank account. You're not fooling anyone. So stop selling yourself dreams. This year, make a decision to do it. Period.
Make a decision. We talked about that at conference. We said millionaires, if they're not anything else, they're decisive. They're decisive. A millionaire don't take all day to make a decision. Even if you're just hearing about this conference today, grab your kids, grab a girlfriend, show up. Don't be like, oh man, I should have went. Because if you're hearing about it today, you're hearing about it for a reason. You're hearing about it because maybe that's a piece of your destiny. So stop missing out on things because you feel like you don't have the time or the money or the energy. Make the way, make the time, make the money, make the energy. And we'll see you. I think you're having a kickoff Friday night.
Yes, ma'am. Friday night is our kickoff reception and our networking event, but we'll also be talking about some of the problems that moms are facing. So we're going to be having some real talk on Friday. Kids are not going to be there on Friday. The kids will be coming on Saturday. So Friday night, we want moms to really let their hair down. Come frustrated because you've been at work all day and all week. And you don't like your job. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you're going to do. Let's talk about what the plan is.
That is going to be amazing. Well, thank you, sis, so much for stopping by. Thank you guys for stopping by. For all of you who shared the broadcast.